Hey guys, hope you guys are having an amazing day so far. Your boy is back with another subreddit video, and today we are diving into the highest viewed series on this channel, r/IncelTears. I know you guys absolutely love this, and I love exploring it with you guys because if you guys are new to r/incel, IncelTears is some of the most vile posts and things that people can find that the worst of the worst incels say. And I'm not saying that all incels are bad people. I'm just saying some of the ones we see on IncelTears, it can get very vile and dark really fast. And then sometimes it's just goofy as hell and funny, but other times it gets a little wacky. So I'm excited to dive into this with you guys. And also starting last video, and we're also gonna be doing it this video, we're gonna be doing bingo. As you guys can see on the screen here, I have a bingo sheet set up. Well, actually, let me randomize it right now. All right, so we hit the random button and boom. This is gonna be the bingo sheet for the day. And if you guys wanna play along, the last link in the description box down below will have the bingo website that I use. However, you can use whichever one you want, and I'll have like all the keys that we use in our bingo sheet, but you guys can add it and randomize it however you please. But these are just gonna be the ones that we use for our bingo card. And also, one last thing before we do get started, if you guys are new to my channel and you enjoy videos like this, we do it every single day, so make sure you guys stay tuned by hitting the subscribe and the notification bell. Also hit the like and comment section down below as it helps out the algorithm, and I love engaging with each and every one of you guys. And if you do want more content, we do exclusive videos every single day on the Patreon if you guys want to support the channel. If you don't, it's all good, but it's gonna be the first link in the description box down below. And thank you to all the deluxe members. All right, now let's get into the video. I'm starting to get better at like saying all that because usually I have to do like 7 takes. All right, get ready guys. This is gonna be a wacky one. All right, first one up. Also, I'm noticing that my camera is being a little glitchy. I think I have too many things running. Give me a second. All right. So first one up, this says the title says, "This is Bob. Be like Bob." Okay. Give it up to Bob, y'all. Another one for the good guys. Love seeing it. Good luck to you, Bob. Oh, okay. So this might actually be a good one. Also, right off the bat, we're on incel.is. I think that might be on the bingo card. Yep, incel.is post. Yep, so we got one off the bat right away. All right, this one says ban me. So Bob post ban me on incel.is. And if you guys haven't checked out, we actually did explore incel.is recently, and we did it safe enough to where YouTube took down a strike, which was awesome. All right, so Bob says, after checking this website out, I hate the incel term now. I won't associate myself with you all. Oh, yeah, good for you, man. Call me self-righteous, but it's never okay to wish ill will on half the population, even if you suppose that they hate you, which they don't. Like, crazy. No one like hates you just for you being you. I mean, there are people that are like that, 100%. I'm going to reiterate. There are a small group of people who will just genuinely dislike somebody just for being them. This is an example. Some of the IncelTears people or incel.is just hate women for no freaking reason at all. And like, I just don't understand that. Whether it's race, sex, whatever, like why? You are the most vile people for that. So good for Bob for acknowledging this. He says, call me self-righteous, but I'll never be okay with to wish ill will on half the population, even if you suppose that they hate you. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, so they say. And y'all can't even be sure that they even dislike you. All you can be sure is that they find you ugly and won't date you. So get me out of this website and ban me, mods. I guess I'll just start calling myself single from now on. Yeah, good for you, man. You're not an incel. Incel, there is a difference between just being involuntarily celibate, meaning that you just aren't at the level where you have been able to pull yet, which most people, I mean, I say most people, every guy starts as that, guys. And then it's a matter of time and work and all that you can get out of it. But it's also a mindset that you got to start in order to even get out of that branch, right? Now, the next, dude, this incels are so goofy, but the ones that we're talking about specifically are like the worst ones, like not the good type. So I'm glad that Bob here does not want to associate himself with incel.is. Good for you. Comments say, this is such a good mentality, a step in the right direction. Never identify this way. As of today, it's hard to remember that the term incel and the form had been created by a woman to help these involuntary celibate people. Incel was just a status. Yeah, because the actual definition is you're just involuntarily celibate. A term to mention that no one was a term to mention one that was alone yet seeking. So it's clear that some people with this real definition would be fooled by joining the forum without knowing. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're kind of getting at. All right, anyways, let's move on to the next post. Good for Bob. I wish him the best. All right, so this one says, this is probably what happens when an incel gets a girlfriend. Oh man, juicy, okay. Like, how dare she look at the direction of another man and make a neutral observation about him? Eye roll. Okay, here we go. So we're on r/AIO, which is all in one. Wait, what? No, it's not. I had to search up what AIO means, and it says all in one. All in order? Hold up. What does AIO stand for? I'm really stupid, guys. I got to search this up. All in order? All is okay? Am I overreacting? I'm so stupid. Dude, I know some of you guys are going to be like, dude, Loon is an idiot. All right, so am I overreacting? So, am I overreacting? Girlfriend says some random guy is tall. Oh my God, yes, you're overreacting. She said a guy is tall. She's making an observation about a guy that's tall. People are tall. That's girl's tall. What? How is that? What? Was out eating with my girlfriend and she was looking around and made a comment about some other guy being tall and she was amazed and said she was amazed. I was immediately furious as to why she's making that comment about some random guy, and it was disrespectful to me. How is that disrespectful? That means that you're insecure about your height. That's just all it means. Because if she made an observation and you found that as an offense, you're insecure about it. She claimed that she would have said the same thing if it was a girl, but it really pissed me off. Am I overreacting? A cajillion % overreacting. Oh my gosh. What is wrong with you? Did we get the height thing on the bingo card? That's the question. Anything with height? Yes, we did. Let's go. Oh, and it's in line with the other one. Let's go. I feel like the IncelTears bingo is easier than the nice guys one because they just all are the same. Not all, but a lot. All right, next one. Ladies, did you know we were born perfect? All right, this is Satire. Now, shall we tell them what we actually do? I'll start. Females. I mentioned of females. I get to knock that out. Start working on this since teenage years or else. Diet. Shave every few days or wax periodically. Get nails done every 3 weeks. Have hair all the time. Have nice hair all the time. Have a nice skincare routine. Stay slim. No cellulite, but have curves though. Wear makeup. Smell good. Have smooth skin. Don't get fat. Be fertile. Be young. Yeah, that's funny. By the way, this is obviously all satire. But be great in bed and know how to cook, know how to clean, raise children, laundry, iron a lot. Be emotionally mature, financially responsible, contribute money, have a job, but don't be a gold digger. Know how to iron your man's dress clothes. Be understanding and supportive, smile more. And don't you dare let yourself go. Know what men want though. Have plastic surgery if you're lacking, but we don't want to know that you have it or else they're plastic. Oh, this is reference. Wow, that was the beginning of an incel.is, like a response to an incel.is post. Okay, so first let's talk about this. Let's address the satire in this. Yes, 100%. Both men and women have so many things that at a young age, society and the other group and society pins upon us. Like, guys, you could say a lot about guys too. Like, you could say like, hey, we're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to, I mean, obviously it's getting better now, but like, you know, like initially when I grew up, my dad was like, don't cry, be a man, like that, right? Like stuff like that, right? And then, my dad taught me, he's like, always pay for the date, things like that. And like stuff like that, you know, like, and it's just a long list of things that guys should do. And then women have the vice versa, where you grow up and your moms or whoever, you know, society tells you, hey, you have to make sure that you're always blah, 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 this and that. And nowadays, I have noticed that society is getting a little bit better, like at getting in the middle. And it's hard because I think at the end of it, you got to be able to do what you think is best. But I will say, there are certain things that are somewhat important. I know it sucks. I'm being honest. It's somewhat important of both genders or all the genders and both sexes to where you will have to do certain things if you want to attract certain people. And that's very vague, and I'm keeping it that way because I give you an example. As a guy, I do have to learn how to be a gentleman if I want to attract a girl that wants a gentleman. Like, not so much like paying for dates. I mean, yeah, like first dates, if I'm inviting a girl, I'm going to pay for the date. But like opening doors, like the stuff like that, you don't have to do that at all. But if you want to attract a girl that likes that, you're going to have to do it. It's like one of those things. But 100%, both groups have a lot. And that also goes with race too. Like a lot of race, you grow up having to think of things that other races will never have to think of, right? Like as a black person, I mean, I'm not black, but I have black friends that do have to be very more cautious when they are pulled over by police, especially if it's not a black police like officer. So that's like things that we all have to deal with just because of the way we're raised. It's not fair. It's not, but it's just the way it is. But it's better to not complain, and it's better to not compare, and just acknowledge the situation, do the best that you can. I mean, it's a tough situation. I'm not an expert. I'm not going to keep going, but yeah, so that's what I'm going to say to this. But I definitely agree. I mean, people of all groups have it tough. All right, let's read the post that this was referring to. So it's an incel.is post. Someone says, men shouldn't have to improve themselves to get a girlfriend. Get the fuck, what? What? Are you dumb? Okay, so this is, no wonder you guys are incels. What are you talking about? And it's posted under the thread serious too. Like it's a serious post. So the thread starts as that. Men shouldn't have to improve themselves to get a girlfriend. And then the guy says, this is a complete double standard. Women can do absolutely nothing and still get relationships handed to them on a plate. Meanwhile, the average Joe has to gym max, money max, work on game, etc. just to stand a chance. It's proof of hypergamy and the clown dating market. Okay, first off, before we even get into the English, I'm about to go on a freaking tyrant rant real quick. That's not what hypergamy is, you dummy. Search up hypergamy. Hypergamy states that both people are dating, people of history has historically dated for status, whatever that means to them. So that alone has already destroyed that, because what he's saying is women don't have to do anything. Women don't have to do anything to you because you have no standard, buddy, and you haven't gotten any, so you're establishing it like that. If you have standards, a woman has to do a lot. Why do you think I'm single? I mean, there's plenty of reasons why I'm single, but one of the reasons is I haven't met a girl that, like, a woman yet, it's weird to say girl, a woman that has met my standards, and vice versa. I haven't met their standards, and there's times that I have met a girl that I think has, but maybe I haven't met theirs. You have to constantly work with yourself, regardless if you're a dude or a woman. If you think all girls just get whatever relationship they want handed to them on a plate, you are delusional. And these guys are just looking from the outside in, so they're not able to actually see it for what it is. When you're actually in the dating world, you start understanding it, both sides. There's both sides have shitty people, both sides have great people, and you have to look for the great ones. And for that reason, women should have to improve themselves to get a boyfriend. Men should also have to improve themselves to get a girlfriend. What the kind of world do you live in? Do you just think you're entitled to a girlfriend? And what? People are just entitled to date other people? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You got to be, dating is, in a way, can be competitive, right? Think of it, I mean, life is competitive as a whole. In order to get a job, you got to be a valuable candidate. In order to date somebody, you got to be a valuable candidate. And for that reason, you got to improve yourself. And if you're, as a guy, thinking women don't have to do anything in order to get you, that's sad. And like, I'm being 100% serious. Like, you have to I'm not saying raise your bar super fucking high by any means, but I'm saying there should be bare minimums that you require to date somebody. Also, and that's cap on its own, because I know for a fact this dude right here is gonna want a girl that is not too fat, this and that. So you're already countering your own argument. I already know it. And also, all right, now we go back to the bingo. Sorry, I went on a really, that just angered me. But we get to knock out blank maxing because he's talking about gym max and money maxing. But yeah, anyways, only post max is law. What does that even mean? Men improving themselves doesn't work. What world? It really enabling women to do whatever they want. See, these guys just are not talking from experience, because men improving themselves doesn't work is crazy to say. Like, how do you think any guy has ever talked to a girl? You gotta improve yourself to be able to even talk to them, buddy. All right, I gotta blur this next part, but someone commented or added onto that thread and said, a female, don't be fat, which is in control. Don't be a whore, which is in control. Don't be an asshole, which is in control. Man, be tall, cannot control. Be handsome, cannot control. Be ripped, cannot control unless rich. That is... What the fuck are you saying? I'm sorry. I have to censor that. That was a loud one. Be rich, cannot control. Be popular, cannot control unless handsome and rich. That's not true either. Be older than her, cannot control. But don't be too old, cannot control. Yeah, okay. Okay, now I understand why the satire of the beginning was like this, listing all the things that a woman has to be. Okay, first off, a woman has to deal with a lot. I already said this. Both groups have to deal with a lot. All right, I'm already going to establish that. Now, the next thing, I'm going to specifically talk about the things that he listed, okay? So for females, we get to knock out females because they said female. Where's females? Oh, did we not get females on here? No, females didn't land on our bingo sheet. Damn, that sucks. All right, it is what it is. Okay, don't be fat. Yeah, that can be somewhat in control. Some people are predisposed to genetics that are... I'm going to take this post actually seriously, by the way. Some people are predisposed to genetics that are tougher than others. I will say, like, more times than not, you can always improve yourself. So, like, if you're predisposed to being a bigger build, when you're endomorph or all that terms, it's going to be harder for you for sure. But if with some effort, you can control to at least I'm a firm believer, at least a healthy form, with the exception of like full outliers that have a lot of medical conditions that really prevent it. Other than that, okay? So most of the time, it can be somewhat controlled. Don't be yeah. Don't be someone that cuddles a lot, is what he's saying. Yeah, you can control that. But why do you, I don't know. I mean, I get that. Like, actually, you don't want to date someone that's both sides, though, that has been with like weight, like, actually, I keep thinking about it. I'm like, I don't really care that much about past. I would say like actively. If they're like actively with a bunch of people, then I would be like, but like, I don't know. That one's preference, I guess. Don't be an a-hole. You can't control. Yeah, that applies for both people, though. Don't be an a-hole. You can't control that. All right, now let's dive into what he said with men. Be tall. Not all women care about that, but some do, and I do agree, and you can't control that. I do agree with that one. There's tricks, but I do agree. Be handsome, cannot control. Not all women, believe it or not, most, but not all women care about just like pure looks, okay, buddy? But be handsome, can you control that? That's up to interpretation. I think you can control a degree of how handsome you are. Now, however, there are some things that are genetically, so you can always improve yourself, though. Be ripped. And then he said, cannot control unless rich. That's cap. Most guys, and this applies to the woman being fat thing. Most guys can improve that unless you're predisposed to an endomorph. But I'm an endomorph, and even then, I can at least be decent. Be rich, and he says cannot control. To an extent, I mean, if you work and you actually study on how to manage your finances. Now, in certain situations, when you're born into a really tough upbringing, it can be harder. So yes, a lot of these are just degrees of it, Be popular, cannot control unless handsome or rich. How about charisma, comedy? Like, there's a lot of people that can be popular in their communities without me. Okay, anyways. Be older than her. Not all women care about that. This is just fucking goofy, man. And then the thread continues and says, someone says, unfortunately, and then he says the derogatory term, starting with the F for women, can do whatever the F they want. Not the case, buddy. Also, we get to knock out the F derogatory term. Nice, love that. And then another thread poster says, men are either born with the capacity or capability to get into relationships or not. What? What do you mean you're born into it? No amount of self-improvement will suddenly change that. Well, there's a thing called standards too. Like, if you lower your standards, you probably could get into God, this is so... I would say you can be born with some defects for sure. But to say that everyone is born to either get into relationships or not is crazy. And then to say that no amount of self-improvement will suddenly change that just shows to me that these guys are like, they're so down bad, which I feel bad about. Like this, it's sad. They're so down bad that they don't even want to fathom improving themselves. It's not even possible to them. It's crazy. There's still a lot of women who are improving. Everyone's on the self-improvement train. Also get this, the quality of these women is also dependent on their lifestyle, okay? A pair of watermelons move more people than any muscle or skill you can ever develop as a man. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. Wow, all women are born perfect. That's where you know that because of that statement, where they stand to themselves, you know? I'm talking mentally. If you are born autistic and weird, that's not changing, and having clearer skin won't change it either. Yeah. But to establish the autistic and weird thing, I know a lot of autistic guys that are dating right now. So that's a flawed argument. I don't even have a girlfriend, and they have girlfriends. Like, what do you do? And boyfriends. I know some autistic girls too that are good buddies of mine actually. They're definitely weird, and I love them for that. Yeah, they're playing victim again, and we get to knock that off. I love that, love that, love that. That was, every time I do these, man, they drain me, but I love it. All right, let's read the comments. 70 to 80% of, I'm going to keep it blurred just in case. Yeah, we're good to read it. All right, 70 to 80% of the $11 billion self-improvement industry in the U.S. is targeted towards women. 57% of gym goers globally are women. Women are twice as likely as men to seek out therapy. 63%. Well, that one is a societal issue too, the therapy thing, because men, I think at least, I mean, from my perspective, I think it's like a whole thing seen as like men are weak if they do. So that one I won't argue. I mean, I will argue against. 63% of skincare users in the US are women. That's true. Also, the first one with the 70, 80% of self-improvement, that's true. Because women do use a lot more products and stuff. Women are significantly more likely than men to participate in lifetime learning that is not work-related. Is that true? That's crazy. We got to step up our game, guys. If that's true, men got to step up. Because like, I like self-improvement, bro. What? And like lifetime learning. Women are more likely to participate in volunteer activities, particularly in informal volunteer activities than men. Yeah, that's probably true for sure. Yeah, most, I'm gonna say most of that's true. The gym goers thing is interesting to me. Women go to the gym more. Is that true? Maybe like memberships, but let's search it up. So, based on AI overview, and if you guys didn't know, Google AI is just pretty much, they do a bunch of research on various studies. It might not be accurate, but it's a quick shortcut to seeing a study and stuff. And cross-reference. While gym memberships is fairly split even, with women comprising from 52 and men for 48. Women tend to do more group fitness exercises like yoga and Pilates. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty split. Yeah, so that argument's like 50-50. But yeah, interesting. All right, on to the next post. Jesus Christ. That was a long one. So this person says, I legitimately dislike when incels dismiss everything due to height. I do too, dude. Because I don't, like certain things, I empathize with them and I understand. I'm 5'4", like I get it. There are certain things, 100%, 1,000,000%. But when you attribute it just to height, it's limiting your own description of yourself as just a number, like just a height. That's really sad. Like I'm not my height. Like I am my height, but like I'm not just my height. I'm also a goofy ass Asian dude with tattoos and like silly. I'm a silly little Willy dude. All right. I be frolicking. All right. So this one says, seriously, they will say my height makes up for everything. Being a single dad. Oh, okay. It's referring to the OP. Being a single dad, untreated mental problems, trauma, body image issues, and severe depression. My height makes it all go away. Okay, so I'm assuming OP, first off, sorry that he's going through all of this. It seems like he's got a lot going on his plate and things like that. If you are going through anything, I advise you to seek help. But again, do whatever you think is best in your situation. It sucks. And, I I feel for you guys. Like I hope everybody, you know, gets to a happy state of mind as much as possible. Anyway, so in regards to this guy, I'm assuming he's a tall guy, and he's pissed off. He's pissed off that people are just attributing everything to his height, saying that, oh yeah, just because he's tall. It's this victim mindset that these guys have. They think that all these people, women, tall guys, they don't have any issues because they're the only ones allowed to have issues. But then let's bring up their issues. Oh, but our issues are worse because you'll never understand what we go through. Like that's not a good. Why are you making it a tribal effect? It's not even about that. Like we should all empathize towards each other no matter what. Like I empathize towards them. I understand that half the shit is stemmed from the fact that they're not pooling, and like, but you can't just because of that, you can't just dislike a whole group of people for no reason. They did nothing to you. Anyways, so the OP says, I have all these situations and more, and yet I've never struggled to have a girlfriend. And it certainly wasn't because of my height. Someone commented and said, it does hurt when you work really hard for something and people simply attribute it to the one thing that you have no control over. Don't listen to any of this BS. They are trying to minimize your achievements to make themselves feel better. Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, I see this all the time. Even in our YouTube videos, whenever I say something on this subject, there's always like one person who drops in the comments and say, yeah, but you're, and I'm like, dude, okay. Like, but if you're going to sit here and just comment on that, do you think that will help your chances at all? Like of anything? Hey, and also I want to reiterate, I am not an expert. I am a big old dummy that's just reading on YouTube. If you don't like what you hear from me, it's okay. And I'm sorry that you don't, but I appreciate you for stopping by, and you don't have to watch my video. But if you are watching my video, I freaking love you. You guys are the best. And I know you're smart people because you're watching me. I'm just like, but yeah. All right, let's read another one. Yeah, this is going to be a long one, huh? Damn, we've been filming for 30 minutes already. Time flies. Okay, so this is a reference. This time, let's read the IS post first, and then let's read what the Reddit, the IncelTears Redditor OP post. All right, the truth about Andrew Tate. Oh, let's go, Andrew Tate reference. All right, so this guy, Highfield 78, says, people mistake Andrew Tate as being associated in some way with incels, when in reality, he is the complete opposite. Tate is the guy women chase because he is tall and well-built. Is he tall? I didn't even know. Incels are anything but that. Tate actually proves that incel ideology is too accurate. He proves dating success is purely physical and to a lesser extent about money. It isn't about charm, charisma, emotional intelligence, sense of humor, or whatever. What? Okay, well, first off, I think it's insane, and this applies to both incels, in incel.is specifically, and also like Andrew Tate supporters, like both sides of it. I mean, I have nothing against you guys if you support whatever you want to support, but people need to stop attributing attraction from anybody, men and women, as one thing, like one size fits all. Like just because you have money, girls are gonna love you. Just because you're funny, girls are going to love you. Or just because like you're tall, girls are going to love you. It's not one attribute makes it all. I hope it's not. And if it is, then that person is not a good person. If they like you only for your money or only for your height, more than likely they're a pretty crappy person. You want to go for people who actually care about certain things, have a standard. And it's like a couple that like I have a long list of wants in a girl. Now, am I too picky? Probably. But yeah, like it's not just one thing, dude. And the whole Tate thing is interesting because with Andrew Tate's ideology, I can't tell if he's feeding into a character. I mean, I'm sure most of the stuff he says is he probably believes, but like some of the stuff is definitely a little preposterous to think about. Like, do I doubt that he's had success with women? No, but at the same time, some of the stuff he says about women is very objectifying and is very shitty. And me personally, I have experienced most women say that they would never date Tate, would never talk to a guy like that. However, what I will say is I don't doubt that there are women out there that don't care about any of that stuff and does like the attributes that he can provide. Because at the end of the day, there is a gajillion people out there. There's gonna be people with all different types of preferences. So yeah. Anyway, so the OP of the post says, incel logic, if this is your goal, if this is the goal you're chasing, You got it all wrong. The man is almost 40, obnoxious, can't get a single woman to stick around past paycheck time, and without a family of his own. He might be valued by other men. He is decidedly not valued by women. All that money and clout and height and muscles only serve him into a meal ticket for the opposite sex. If they achieve the exact same result, if you can afford to pay up, tell me you don't know how to filter out media. Yeah, and like, dude, you don't want to be dating a girl that only values you that kind of stuff. Just saying. All right, I'm going to blur this next one. It says, even a kindergarten student can smell this BS. What? Oh, also, we talked about red pill, so we get to knock that out. I think someone mentioned red pill. But anyways, all right. Chaos is the portal to cuddling. Hatred is the portal to love. Darkness is the portal to light. They're all paradoxical, but they don't exist without the other. Therefore, they are one. Why do you think women are drawn to soldiers, cops, fighters, authority figures? It's not the title or uniform, it's the energy. These men confront chaos. They take risk. They don't fake it. They know fear and step into it. And their electromagnetic field surrounding their bodies informs others of this instinctual. What is going on? What am I reading? These men confront chaos. They take risks. They don't fake it. They know fear and step into it. And their electromagnetic. Oh, yeah, I already read that. My bad. Without saying a word, you know if they are if you're in the presence of a man that confronts chaos. When a woman enters the space of a man who has lived with that confrontation, who's familiar with fear, with darkness, with pain, she feels it in her body, in her bones. Call it biology, magnetism, spirituality. It doesn't matter. She feels his gravity because he's earned it. What? Who wrote this? I mean, like, oh, it's a red pill rant. Yeah, dude. What fantasy are you reading? For the first thing that I knew was false when he said chaos is the portal to. That's not the case at all, buddy. What are you even on, dude? So him saying soldiers, cops, fighters, and authority figures, women are drawn to them. Yeah, 100%. Some girls can be. Are most women? I don't think so. From my dating history, if they girls that see, at least the type of girls that I talk to, when they see soldiers, they're instantly, or like army people, they're instantly turned off and will not match with them at all because of the toxicity that comes with it. So I don't know what you're on. I will say the only thing that I can at all kind of, give him the benefit of the doubt on is I have experienced that. I'm not going to say all women because there's probably definitely some women out there that aren't like this. But most of the women I've dated, they do like a guy that knows how to be calm in chaos, like know how to be able to compose himself. But that's just a maturity thing and like being able to handle it. Because I mean, who wouldn't like that in general? I like women that aren't going to freak out all the time, So, I mean, that's like the only thing I can get out of that. But most of this is fucking goofy, dude. Comments say, the last time I am drawn to a cop. Wait, the last type I am drawn to is a cop. Hard no, deal breaker. What? I mean, there's probably some people that are, though. I mean, I'm sure, but imagine how tired we are. What the hell? Oh, it's so silly. All right, this is going to be the last one of the day. Let me make sure I can unblur this. Yeah, I can unblur it. All right, this one says, just started using Threads and saw this when I searched up scary. So just searched up scary. After a breakup, so someone posted, after a breakup, 100% of women, again, these statistics are all so goofy. 100% of women get into relationships with a man who is already in their DMs. That is such BS. 100%. How you're certain every single. Okay. Women don't break up without a backup. Dude, guys do that too, but not all guys and not all girls. What the are you on? The new guy isn't new. You just never knew. He really tried to be profound. I mean, okay, there's like, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. There's probably like a small percentage of women and men that do break up with and while having a backup plan, right? 100%. That's why rebounding is rebounding, right? But what? Yeah. Did we get any gaslighting this episode? I feel like we got gaslighting and insults women. I'm going to go ahead and knock out insult women. I feel like we did. Yeah. But yeah, no bingo today, huh, guys? That's crazy. I thought we were going to have an easy one. I guess if we had this mixed up a little bit better, maybe. Comments on this one says, incels don't understand choosing to be alone. They think that being left for no one is an even greater result than being left for someone else. So they invent other men as needed as cope. Yeah, it is pretty silly to think about that mentality. The worst part is that every comment agrees with this idiot. Oh no. I mean, it makes sense. There's a lot of lonely people out there. And you know, when you're in a bad place or you're lonely, it's always easier to blame other people rather than to blame yourself. It's just a natural nature of human. And comparison is the theft of joy. I've said that many times, but also like whenever you start putting blame on other things, it relieves you as a human being. So I get why. I'm not saying it's right. They shouldn't be doing this shit, but they're doing it because it's a reason, not an excuse. They're doing it because it eases it's coping. It's easing and coping with their pain as an unsuccessful guy or as a not sought after guy. Instead of them thinking about their own internal problems, they're like, no, it has to be other people. It's playing victim, dude. That's just what it is. It's just playing victim. Let's read another comment real quick before we close it up. They all whine about how women only want to date the top 10 or 20% of men, and then they blame hypergamy. But at the same time, this kind of whiny shit gets posted. If 100% of women are doing this, then their hypergamy claims makes no sense unless a few men are really getting worn out. Yeah. Me, the last 2 breakups I've dealt with, my feelings were such that I didn't want to look for another man for months because I have had enough of their for a while. Yeah, dude. And how flawed this is if you've ever been in like a real heartbreak, like devastating, dude, you don't want to date for a while. You don't even want to be on dating apps. I mean, your friends will tell you to get on, but you don't want to do it because you're just like, man, like I need to process this shit. At least a smart adult should. Like people that relationship hop, you know, it could work out. You know, I'm not saying that there aren't the cases where they relationship the hop and they find someone perfect for them, right? I'm not saying that. But more times than not, if you do straight up relationship hop, to me, it seems like a lack of maturity because it seems like you can't be able to cope with the fact that you're single. Now, if let's say you meet somebody new that you actually really like right after a relationship, in my opinion, the healthiest thing to do is to say, hey, can we stay friends for a little bit? I just got out of a relationship. And then, process everything that just happened. And then, when you're ready, date them. But that's just my opinion. I'm a dummy. What do I know? Anyways, I'm going to end it here. But if you're a Patreon member, we're going to continue. And we're going to continue the bingo too since we didn't hit it. So, yeah, I'll see you guys there if you're a Patreon. If not, no worries. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.